In a village nestled so deep in the countryside it felt like time itself had forgotten it, there lived a young woman named Amara. Her life was a gentle rhythm of sunrises and sunsets, until one evening, a stranger arrived. His name was Adrian, and he appeared just as the last rays of sunlight bled from the sky. He was handsome, with eyes that held the depth of a moonless night, and a voice as smooth as velvet. The village was instantly captivated, and none more so than Amara. Adrian's charm was undeniable, but a quiet mystery clung to him like the evening mist. He never ventured out in the daylight, claiming the sun was too harsh for his sensitive skin. His courtship of Amara was a whirlwind affair conducted entirely under the soft glow of the moon and stars. He spoke of a grand estate just beyond the woods, a place of silent beauty where they could build a life together. Amara, swept away by his poetic words and intense gaze, fell deeply in love. But the village elders, with their weathered faces and wise eyes, watched with unease. They whispered old tales of spirits that roamed the twilight hours, of shadows that could steal a maiden's heart and her soul along with it. Be wary of a man who fears the sun, they warned Amara. Only things of the night thrive in darkness. Her friends, too, voiced their concerns. They noticed how Adrian's feet seemed to glide over the ground without disturbing a single pebble, how his touch, though gentle, was always unnaturally cold. Amara, blinded by what she believed was true love, dismissed their warnings as the superstitions of a bygone era. Adrian was different, that was all. He was a man of refined tastes, a romantic soul who preferred the quiet intimacy of the night. When he proposed, she accepted without a moment's hesitation, her heart soaring with dreams of their future. They decided on a nighttime wedding, a ceremony to be held in a secluded clearing deep within the woods, just as the moon reached its zenith. Adrian insisted it would be more romantic, more memorable. On the appointed night, Amara, dressed in a gown as white as moonlight, met him. The air was strangely still, and an unsettling silence had fallen over the forest. The only guests were the ancient trees, their branches like skeletal fingers reaching for the sky. Even the crickets and night birds were silent. As they stood before a makeshift altar of moss-covered stone, a cold wind swept through the clearing, extinguishing half the candles and making Amara shiver. A stray dog that had followed them from the village began to howl a mournful, guttural cry before tucking its tail and fleeing back into the darkness. A sense of dread, cold and sharp, pierced through Amara's joy. She looked at Adrian, whose face was half hidden in shadow, and for the first time, she felt a flicker of real fear. But when he took her hand and smiled, his enchanting smile that had first captured her heart, she pushed her doubts aside. They exchanged vows, their words echoing strangely in the dead quiet of the woods. After the ceremony, Adrian led her away, not towards the path back to the village, but deeper into the forest. "Our home is this way," he murmured, his voice a low hum. "A place where we will never be parted." They walked for what felt like hours, the path growing more and more unfamiliar. Finally, they arrived at a large, imposing structure made of dark stone, with a heavy iron gate. It didn't look like the grand estate he had described. It looked older, colder. He pushed open the heavy gate, the sound of grinding metal scraping through the silence. "Welcome home, my love," he said, guiding her inside. The interior was vast and opulent, filled with dusty, antique furniture and portraits whose eyes seemed to follow her every move. But there were no windows, and the air was thick with the smell of damp earth and something else. Something faintly sweet and decaying, like old flowers. That night, as they lay in a grand, four-poster bed, Amara's unease grew into full-blown terror. She rested her head on Adrian's chest, seeking comfort, but found none. There was no gentle rhythm of a beating heart. There was only stillness, a cold, absolute silence. Her hand flew to his neck, searching for a pulse, nothing. She felt his skin. It was as cold as marble. Panic seized her. She sat bolt upright, her breath catching in her throat. "Adrian," she whispered, her voice trembling, "your heart." "It's not beating." He sat up slowly, and in the dim candlelight, his face transformed. The charming smile was gone, replaced by a hollow, predatory expression. His eyes, once so captivating, now glowed with a faint, eerie light. "A heart is a fragile thing, my dear," he said, his voice losing its warmth, becoming a dry, rasping whisper. "I have no need for one anymore. I have been waiting for you, Amara, for 50 long years. He was a spirit, a man who had died a half-century ago, his soul bound to this place. His grand estate was not a home, but a mausoleum. Their wedding bed was a sarcophagus in the center of a forgotten graveyard. All the opulent furnishings were illusions, shimmering mirages designed to lure her into his trap. He had sought a bride to share his eternal, lonely existence, to keep him company in the endless dark. He wanted to trap her soul with his. As he reached for her, his form beginning to flicker and distort, Amara's fear gave way to a surge of desperate courage. The Elder's warnings, the strange occurrences, the cold truth of her situation, it all crashed down on her. She wouldn't be a prisoner. She scrambled away from him, her mind racing. The old tales didn't just speak of spirits. They spoke of how to defeat them. They are bound by lies and undone by truth. Standing at the edge of the tomb, with the specter of Adrian advancing, she took a deep breath and spoke, her voice ringing with conviction, clear and loud in the suffocating silence. "You are not Adrian," she declared. "You are a shadow, a memory. You are dead." She pointed a trembling finger at him. "This is not a home, it is a tomb, and I am not your bride. I am alive, and I will not be bound to this place of death." At the sound of the truth spoken so plainly, so powerfully, a horrifying change came over Adrian. His handsome face contorted in agony, the illusion shattered. His form began to unravel like old cloth, his ghostly light dimming. He let out a silent scream as his body dissolved, crumbling away into a pile of fine gray dust on the cold stone floor. Silence returned to the tomb, but this time it was a peaceful silence. The oppressive atmosphere lifted. Amara could see the first hints of dawn breaking through a crack in the stone ceiling. The sun was coming. She fled the graveyard, running without looking back, bursting out of the woods just as the morning sun crested the horizon. She stumbled back into her village, her wedding gown torn and stained with dirt, her face pale, but her eyes burning with a new, hard-won strength. She never spoke of what happened in the woods that night. The villagers saw the change in her. The naive girl was gone, replaced by a woman who had walked through the valley of the shadow of death and emerged on the other side. Amara lived the rest of her days in the quiet village, forever marked by her one night as the bride of a dead man. And she never again ventured out after dusk, for she knew what secrets the twilight could hold. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more tales from the shadows.